Defense, Mr. Swalwell from California.
Thank you, Lloyd. Thank you, Ms. Wexton and Mr. Byer, for your work to stand up for a Virginia resident, a former Texas resident, and as someone who represents one of the largest Muslim American populations in the country, in Fremont, California, where we have Little Kabul as a gem community in our district. We're very concerned, and just like my colleague, I've heard from a number of constituents about this detention. And I have to say, UAE is an ally, and the United States, generally the default is to respect when an ally detains any person, because we presume that perhaps they have evidence against that person. But that presumption is completely taken away, and that presumption has doubt cast upon it when you see the conditions that Mr. Ghafoor is suffering through, that his health could be in decline because of a COVID condition, that he is not able to meet with his attorneys, that he's not been given information about the charges against him, that he's been indicted in absentia, and that's not how an ally should treat another ally's citizens. And so here today we are saying, allow Mr. Ghafoor to put up bail, tell him what his charges are, let him meet with his lawyers, provide the health care that you would give to anyone in your own justice system if they were indeed sick. But that has not been the case. According to Mr. Ghafoor's attorney, he's not heard anything about his conviction before his arrest, and he has yet to see any documentation. The dubious nature may, unfortunately, as my colleagues have alluded to, be politically motivated. Mr. Ghafoor is a board member for the nonprofit organization Democracy in the Arab World Now, DAWN, which advocates for democratic reforms in the Middle East. And his advocacy is similar to his former client's advocacy, Jamal Khashoggi, which also raises concerns about how Mr. Ghafoor is being treated. Continued denial to meet with his attorneys is unacceptable and a barrier to his ability to defend himself. So I join my colleagues in calling on the Emirati government, an ally, as was pointed out, of the United States, a country that receives billions over the last 10 years in security and economic assistance, a country that wants to expand its trade with the United States and its security partnerships. I call on the Emirati government to afford these rights to Mr. Ghafoor, allow him to seek bail. Finally, he must be allowed regular access to his family and the United States Embassy visits to ensure his continued health. Again, I thank my colleague for her advocacy on behalf of her constituent, and for her to know that her advocacy to my Muslim American constituents means the world, because they know as a community that they are often targeted, and it hurts them and it pains them to see one of their own detained in this manner. So thank you.